Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel, to you I say Shalom. Alright, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. And this lesson basically is going to be titled, Famine is coming to America real soon, man. Alright, it's going to be titled somewhere along those lines. Alright, but people are already hungry in America and in Babylon today, but the famine that's coming is going to be on an epic proportion, man. Alright, so we're seeing this hints and signs of the times that's coming, and this is why now is high time to repent, man. Alright, so this is a website called feedingamerica.org, and I believe Feeding America is one of the largest food donation charities in America, in Babylon today. Alright, and it says hunger in America. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, unemployment and food insecurity soared. In 2020, over 60 million people turned to food banks and community programs for help putting food on the table. Alright, so in 2020 alone, over 60 million people, that's, damn near 20% of the population, because there's over 330 million people in Babylon today. Alright, so if 60 million people in 1 year had to go to food banks to secure food, man, that's just a sign of the times, man. Alright, it says facts about hunger in America. According to the USDA, more than 38 million people, including 12 million children in the U.S., are food insecure. Alright, to be food insecure means that you don't know when or where your next meal is coming from. You're insecure about your next meal. Alright, so, Jake today, Babylonians today, right? There's supermarkets on every corner. Gas station sells food, right? You got most people have pantries full of like canned food and stuff, things they don't eat. When you open the fridge, and there'll be a bunch of items in the fridge, but you'll still say there's no food. Pretty soon, there's gonna be a time where you're gonna open the fridge. There's gonna be nothing at all in there. There's gonna be nothing in the pantries. There's gonna be nothing in the store shelves, right? And if there is stuff on the store shelves, they're gonna cost astronomical prices, all right? Or they're gonna take a currency that you won't be able to provide, such as that MOTB, man. All right. The pandemic has increased food insecurity among families with children and communities of color who have already faced hunger at much higher rates before the pandemic. So Jake was already struggling before the pandemic because they're under the curses. Now, how much more now that we are coming into the times of the end, man? All right, but this is a real spiritual right here. What they said, it says hunger in African American, Latino, and Native American communities is higher because of systemic racial injustice. Really, it's because of the curses, man. You so-called African American, you so-called Latino, and you so-called Native Americans are the true chosen people of the Most High, man. You are the true Israelites of the Bible, all right? And your reason you under these curses is because you refuse to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, all right? And hunger and famine are part of the curses, man, all right? But let's go into this right here. This whole thing, man. This whole thing is, this is scriptures laid out, man. Actually, let me jump to the curses real quick. Don't want to talk too long without, pulling some precepts out. Slovakia. Deuteronomy 28, I'm going to start at verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Alright? And from here on down are a list of curses that's going to happen to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that refuse to obey the law of your power, man. Alright? These two off rip go into famine. Alright? Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. That means the things that you have and things that you're able to buy, which includes food. Cursed shall, Deuteronomy 28 and 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Verse 18. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. All right, because kind and sheep go into cattle, which goes into food and meat. All right, the fruit of the land goes into the harvest of the plants, man. The fruits and vegetables that grow from the land. All right. So they're going to be cursed if you don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, man. All right. But I think it's 48. Oh, there's another one, Deuteronomy 20 and 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things. So if you want food, if you want water, if you need clothing, and the want of all things, you have to go to your enemies, man. And then when you buy these things, you have to pay a tax on top of that, man. All right. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. All right. So when that yoke of iron comes off your neck, you're going to be already destroyed, man. All right. Esau doesn't need to put you so-called Black, Spanish, and Native Americans in chains anymore, man, because he already got you mentally, man. He already got you disobeying the law, statute, commandments, so he knows he could do whatever he want with you now, man. All right. But back to feeding America. Who faces hunger in the U.S.? Hunger can affect people from all walks of life. Millions of people in America are just one job loss, missed paycheck, or medical emergency away from hunger. And that's facts, man, because over 60% of the people in Babylon today live paycheck to paycheck. So one, financial emergency, one missed paycheck, it could set off a chain reaction where you ultimately starve. You're not able to buy food, right? All right, and we're seeing, and this is about to come. Not only that, but inflation will cause that too. Because if you live paycheck to paycheck, you're getting paid the same rate that you were getting paid 5 years ago, but prices are, 20% higher. You live in paycheck to paycheck, you're not going to be able to afford the things that you were able to afford 5 years ago. And now if you live in paycheck to paycheck, you got to pay more from getting paid the same. You're gonna start lacking in things, and food is gonna be the one of the things you're gonna start lacking and buying, right? But hunger doesn't affect everyone equally. Some groups face, like children, seniors, black, indigenous, and other people of color, face hunger at much higher rates. Hunger also most often affects neighbors who live in poverty. All right. Again, who is this directed to? Mostly you so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans. All right, because if you go to let's go to 1 Peter chapter 4. 1 Peter 4:17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first began at us meaning you Israelites, you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High, man? All right? And you're going through this. Jake is going through this the heaviest because they refuse to obey the gospel of the Most High, man. All right? And this website shows you, man. What races do they point out specifically? So-called African American, so-called Native American, and so-called Latinos. Right? They put children in there, but children are the descendants of their fathers. So African American hunger, if that child goes hungry, it's an African American child, so on and so forth, so called, right? And rule, all right, they like to say is so-called Edomites, so-called white people live in rural areas, but not only do Jake live in here too, but a lot of these people you see are Jakes themselves, man. All right, and then again, hunger is closer than you think, man. All right, the time that we're coming into is closer than you think. And I got a video I want to play too that's going to prove that. But let me jump to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I'm going to start from the top. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And that word incredulity goes into let me see if I could define it real quick. Incredulity, the state of being unwilling or unable to believe something. All right. So scripture says, don't let the fact that they're unable or unwilling to believe prophecy trouble you, man. All right. Second Edges 15:4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, and one of the ways they're gonna die is via hunger. Alright? And this proves it again in verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Famine is a plague of the Most High, man. And again, he said he's going to bring the plagues of Egypt to Babylon. Alright, so if famine is one of the plagues, expect it to see it again in America, man. Second Ezra 15:49, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Alright? Widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, man. These are all violent plagues, man. Widowhood, it destroys families, right? If a house isn't led by a man, especially a man of the Lord specifically, it's going to be destroyed, man. It's going to be overtaken. All right. Well, let me jump to 2 Ezra 16. I'm going to start from the top. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. All right. Again, America. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. All right. The destruction of America is at hand. It's going to start with, famine, man. Oh, no, I'm slacking. Let me not say start with, because it's already started, right? Babylon's already falling. You're already seeing this place starting to collapse. But famine is just one of the, things that's gonna speed up the destruction of this place, man. All right. I'm gonna second Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? All right. What are you gonna do when you're not able to eat? When you're not able to feed your children, man? To prevent that, you better start serving the Lord, man. Verse 19. Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. These things are basically the whooping belt that the Most High is using to correct your ways, Jake, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These are scourges for amendment. Amendment means to repair something. If you amend something, you mean to fix it. Jake is broken right now because they're not following the law, statutes, and commandments, all right? Verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right? Even though you're going through hell, even though you're catching these plagues, these tribulations, these famines, you're not going to turn from your wicked ways, nor are you going to be mindful why these things are happening. You're just going to shit happens. No, your ass is getting judged, man. Your ass is getting judged and you refuse to correct your ways, man. So now you got to die. All right? Lamentations 4. I'm just get to the point. I don't want to make this too long. Lamentations 4 and 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away stricken through the want of the fruits of the field. Alright, so if you die with the sword, it's better than that than to die of starvation, man. Because starvation is a long, drawn out death, man. Alright, let me actually jump up to verse 6, Lamentations 4 and 6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people, again talking about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. All right, Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed quickly, man. All right, even though that was a vile and wicked group of cities, it was overthrown quickly. It was destroyed quickly, man. This is why the destruction of America is going to be worse than the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Even though they're going to be similar, but America is going to be far worse, man. All right. Lamentations 4 and 10. The hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people, man. All right. The hands of pitiful women have cooked their own children. They were their food in the destruction of the daughter of my people. That's how bad famine is going to be here, man. Not just here, but all across the world, man. All right. This is how bad it's going to get. You have not seen nothing yet, man. All right. Let me just go into this word sodden. I believe it's baked. Yep. To boil, cook, baste, bake, roast, ripen, grow ripe. To boil, man. There's gonna be women out here boiling their children just to eat in these last days, man. And people will still refuse to turn to the Lord, man. But I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna wrap it up with that because I can feel it's getting a little long.
You want a reality check? I'm gonna give you a reality.
Salakia, and then this is a truck driver, and he says at the top of the video it says $5.15 a gallon in Tennessee. All right, and that's to put gas in his truck, and that's expensive. All right, diesel now costs more than premium gas. They used to be right about the same price, but I see diesel prices in South Florida $5.10, but premium will cost $4.99.
Check. $1,052 to fill a semi-truck in Tennessee. It is currently right now $5.15 a gallon. What the fuck are y'all gonna do next month when your gallon of milk costs $11? Did you hear that? That's the only way you can get milk. Reefer units, refrigerator trailers. It ain't like y'all gonna do without. Y'all better wake the fuck up.
So it's not like y'all gonna live without.
Did you hear that?
You can't live without food, man. And it's really, $5.16, because it's usually $5.15 and 9/10 of a cent after that. So Esau add on the extra tax no matter what. Esau gonna get his, and he's gonna get it back in blood, man. All right, but this is what you're seeing a result of all that free money they printed in 2020 and 2021. All right, all those stimulus checks that Jake was begging for, all those PPP loans, right? All these debt forgiveness programs they did, all that. You can't just print money and think that it will have no consequence. They printed 80% of all U.S. dollars that is in circulation right now. 80% of them was printed last year alone, man, or during these past 2 years, I should say. All right, trillions and trillions of dollars they printed. It's gonna have an effect, and that effect is hyperinflation, which will cause eventually famine, death, and destruction. Because if you're not able to eat and you live in a society, you live in a country where there are more guns than people, right? It's going to get violent real quick, man. Real quick. All right? But again, call Allah Yallah Yahweh Bashim Yahshai for that, man. Because the quicker this place deteriorates, the quicker our kingdom will be built, man. All right? But I'm going to wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, I want to say shalom and abad wabal.